Cal 9 News at 9 and streaming on CBSN Los Angeles, I'm Juan Fernandez.
And I'm Sharon Tay.
A new battle is brewing in D.C. Democrats are crying cover-up, and Republicans say they're making a big deal about nothing.
It all started with a mysterious complaint from a government whistleblower who reportedly overheard the president making a promise to a foreign leader.
KCAL 9 Sara Donchey here now with new details on that alleged interaction. Sarah?
So this is one of those stories that seems to be evolving by the minute with new details coming out. The House Intelligence Committee suggested that this whistleblower was concerned about multiple interactions, not just one. Now, we don't know who this person is, only that they were worried enough to step up and complain.
Tonight, a bombshell report from the Washington Post reveals that the whistleblower who complained about an interaction between President Trump and a foreign leader was worried about the president's dealings with Ukraine specifically. CBS News has reported that in the 6 weeks before the complaint was filed, President Trump did speak with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, among other leaders. Democrats have already launched an investigation into whether the president and his attorney tried to pressure Ukraine into helping the president's re-election campaign. Earlier reporting from the Post indicated that an anonymous U.S. intelligence official reported that a promise the president allegedly made was so troubling it prompted him or her to come forward. The Inspector General looked into the matter and in a letter to Congress reported that he determined that there were reasonable grounds to believe that the information relating to the urgent concern appeared credible. Joseph McGuire, the acting director of national intelligence, had 7 days to turn over the material to Congress, but he declined. CNN reports both the White House and the Justice Department pressured him to keep the report secret.
That whistleblower material must be made available to Congress. The failure to do so amounts to a cover-up.
I don't know whether the White House is directly involved because we can't get an answer to that question, but we do know that they are making some claim that a privilege may apply. Well, that narrows the category who may be intervening here.
But Republicans argue that the president has every right to deal with foreign leaders as he sees fit.
He has very wide authority, really unchecked authority, to talk to world leaders about anything he deems appropriate as he's representing the United States of America.
The president himself is pushing back on the story, calling it a fake news story, tweeting, "Is anybody dumb enough to believe that I would say something inappropriate with a foreign leader while on such a potentially heavily populated call? I would only do what is right anyway and only do good for the USA."
I know the media always wants to rush when they think something sensationalist, and 9 times out of 10 we find out a lot of that's not true. This is not something I'd ever see the president doing, and I would, instead of jump to conclusions, actually get the facts first.
The acting director of national intelligence has been subpoenaed to testify about the matter next week.
So the real question now is what exactly was laid out in this complaint, and will it ever be turned over to Congress? The president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, was on CNN tonight. He acknowledged that he asked the Ukrainians to investigate Joe Biden for a potential conflict of interest between Biden and his son's business dealings with Ukraine. Sharon?
All right.